When we hear about the US trade deficit, it's easy to think it's all doom and gloom. Donald Trump has been a vocal advocate for fair trade, aiming to tackle the massive trade deficit. In February, he took action by raising tariffs on goods from China, Mexico and Canada. But what does this really mean for the US? As of 2024, the US trade deficit sits as a staggering $1 trillion, a figure that has been climbing since 2009. Surprisingly, this deficit isn't necessarily a bad sign. It often reflects a thriving economy that draws in foreign investment. For example, in 2024, the US economy grew by 2.8%. However, higher tariffs can shake up global supply chains, causing consumer prices to soar. A 10% tariff on imports could add about $600 to the annual expenses of American households. These might trigger retaliatory actions from trading partners, escalating into a full-blown trade war. Guys, before we dive into the top 10 countries most affected by Trump's new trade policy and explore the consequences for the global economy, hit that like button and subscribe so you won't miss our new videos. In this countdown, we've carefully selected countries based on three criteria: their economic dependence on US trade, their vulnerability to tariffs through exports and imports, and the historical context of their trade relations with the US. By analyzing these factors, we can gauge how deeply these nations are impacted. Our insights are backed by reliable sources, including the UN Comtrade, World Bank, and recent economic analysis. These sources help us understand the intricate web of global trade and the potential fallout from Trump's tariff policies. Coming in at number 10, we have India. The dynamics of India's trade are significantly impacted by President Trump's recent tariff policies. The tariffs of imports from Canada, Mexico and China could lead to the Indian rupee depreciating past 87 to the US dollar for the first time. In response, India has committed to avoiding protectionist trade signals, even reducing import duties on high-end motorcycles to uphold its free trade principles. As US companies seek alternative sources for aluminum and copper, they may turn to India, alongside the Middle East, Chile and Peru, presenting both challenges and opportunities. With exports to the US valued at approximately $70 billion in 2024, a 10% tariff could cost India over $7 billion annually. Despite these challenges, Indian officials express confidence in navigating Trump's America First trade policy while capitalizing on its vast potential in a shifting global landscape. How do you think India's trade strategy will evolve in response to President Trump's tariff policies? Write your thoughts in the comments. The ninth in the list is United Kingdom. The UK stands to face significant economic challenges due to President Trump's recent trade tariffs. Research indicates that these tariffs could reduce UK export to the US by approximately £22 billion annually, particularly impacting sectors like fishing and mining. Additionally, the tariffs are expected to disrupt global supply chains, leading to a slowdown in international trade and potential inflationary pressures. This economic strain could result in higher borrowing costs and complicate financial markets, posing challenges for the UK's fiscal policies. In summary, the UK's economy is poised to experience significant setbacks due to these trade policies, with potential losses amounting to billions of pounds annually. At number 8, we have Italy. The country's economy is facing significant challenges due to President Trump's recent trade tariffs, contributing to a decline in European stock markets, which experienced its worst one-day fall in almost 4 months. Italian manufacturers, especially in the automotive sector, are particularly vulnerable. Companies like Fiat Chrysler Automobiles, with substantial operations in Mexico, saw their shares drop by 6.8% following the tariff announcements. Although specific figures for Italy's potential losses are still being assessed, the broader European economy is expected to slow down, with estimates suggesting a reduction in economic output by 0.4%. Overall, Italy is poised for significant setbacks, potentially losing billions of euros annually due to these trade policies. Coming in at number 7, we have France. With a substantial portion of its exports heading to the US, France faces the risk of reduced competitiveness in key sectors. The automotive industry particularly could be hit hard, as French manufacturers like Renault and Peugeot rely on smooth access to the US market. Additionally, French agriculture could experience challenges, as tariffs on agricultural products might lead to increased costs and reduced exports. Analysts estimate that the tariffs could result in billions of euros in losses for the French economy, potentially slowing growth and affecting jobs. With these trade tensions escalating, France must navigate a precarious path to mitigate the impacts of Trump's policies. At number 6, we have South Korea. The recent escalation has led to a decline in Asian stock market, with South Korean automakers Kia Motors a nearly 7% drop in share value. South Korea's exports to the US totaled approximately $65 billion in 2023, making it a crucial trading partner. The new tariffs could lead to reduced demand for South Korean goods in the United States, potentially resulting in billions of dollars in losses. While exact figures are yet to be determined, the impact on South Korea's economy could be substantial. It's set to face significant setbacks due to these trade policies, with potential losses amounting to billions of dollars annually. Coming in at number 5, we have Japan. The country's economy is poised to face significant challenges due to President Trump's recent trade tariffs. This escalation has led to a decline in Asian stock markets, with Japan's factory activity dropping at its fastest rate in 10 months. In 2023, Japan's export to the US totaled approximately $150 billion, making it a crucial trading partner. Japanese manufacturers, particularly in the automotive sector, are particularly vulnerable to these tariffs. Companies like Toyota, Nissan, and Mazda, which have substantial manufacturing operations in Mexico and Canada, saw their shares drop by 5 to 7% following the tariff announcements. While specific figures for Japan's potential losses are still being assessed, the broader Asian economy is expected to experience a slowdown, with estimates suggesting a reduction in economic output by 0.4% due to these tariffs. Coming in at number 4, we have Germany. The recent escalation in trade tensions has led to a decline in European stock markets, with the DAX index experiencing its worst one-day fall in nearly 4 months. In 2023, Germany exported approximately $170 billion worth of goods to the United States, making it one of its largest export markets. The tariffs on goods from Mexico, Canada, and China could disrupt established supply chains, especially in the automotive sector. German automakers like BMW and Volkswagen, with manufacturing operations in the US, may incur higher costs for imported parts. For example, BMW produces many vehicles in South Carolina, and tariffs could impact the cost of parts imported from Germany. Economists warn a potential 15% reduction in German exports to the US, resulting in billions in losses, and a 1% slowdown in economic output across Europe. At number 3, we have Canada. In 2023, Canada exported approximately $440 billion worth of goods to the United States, making it Canada's largest trading partner. In response to President Trump's recent tariffs, Canada has announced retaliatory measures, imposing 25% tariffs on $30 billion worth of US goods. The specific impact on Canada's exports to the US is uncertain, but the tariffs are expected to affect various American products, including beer, wine, bourbon, fruits, and household appliances. While the exact financial impact on Canada's exports to the US remains to be seen, the retaliatory tariffs are expected to affect various American products. The second in the list is Mexico. In 2023, Mexico became the largest exporter to the United States, surpassing China for the first time in 16 years. Mexican exports to the US totaled approximately $480 billion, accounting for 15.4% of the United States' total international trade. In response to President Trump's recent tariffs, Mexico has announced retaliatory measures, imposing 25% tariffs on US imports. These tariffs are expected to affect various American products, including pork, cheese, fresh produce, and aluminum. The specific impact on Mexico's exports to the US is uncertain, but economic analysis suggests that a universal tariff of 25% could lead to a 12% reduction in exports, potentially causing Mexico's GDP to decline by 4% in 2025 if the tariff is maintained throughout the year. Claiming the top spot is China. In 2023, China exported approximately $427 billion worth of goods to the United States, making it the second largest exporter to the US. In response to President Trump's recent tariffs, China has announced retaliatory measures, including a 10% tariff on US imports. US automakers such as Tesla may face increased costs, due to tariffs on Chinese-made parts and vehicles. The electronics sector, including companies like Apple, could experience higher production costs and potential price increase for consumers. US farmers exporting soybeans and other products to China may encounter retaliatory tariffs, affecting their profitability. The specific impact on China's exports to the US is uncertain, but economic analysis suggests that a universal tariff of 10% could lead to a 5% reduction in exports, potentially causing China's GDP to decline by 0.4% in 2025 if the tariff is maintained throughout the year. As we wrap up our analysis of Trump's trade tariffs, it's clear that the consequences are far-reaching, with significant impacts on countries like China, Mexico and Canada. These tariffs threaten to disrupt established trade relations, inflate consumer prices and potentially trigger economic downturns. The situation underscores the complexity of global trade dynamics, where a single policy can ripple across economies. What are your thoughts on how these tariffs will influence international relations and economic stability moving forward? Don't hesitate to share your thoughts in the comments. Also, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe and share this video so you don't miss our new episodes. See you very soon!